Welcome back to the Gen Z Speaks podcast. Welcome back. How are you doing, man?
I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I'm ready for tonight's flight.
We're going to Costa Rica, but before we go, we needed to talk about breaking news. This is one of those moments I think that'll go down in history where we'll look back at where we were. It's one of those types of events. So where were you when you heard that there was an attempted assassination on former President Trump?
I was driving my 26-foot truck to my warehouse.
And who told you? Did you see it on the news, on the phone?
You texted me.
I texted you. Oh.
You texted while I was driving. And I was like, what? And so I was driving. I Googled it on my phone real quick.
Yeah.
And I was like, but then I saw you texted BB gun. You're like, wait, never mind.
No,
but then
no.
I was looking at the article. I didn't text back, but
Yeah.
I didn't see any BB guns. So I was like, maybe it was like
No, it was
legit.
It was a legit gun. Yeah.
It got shot in the air.
Grazed. Yeah.
Where were you?
I was at my mosque. There was a science fair happening, and somebody sent a video in our group chat, and I looked at it, and I was like, first I thought, oh, it's not that serious. But then, because as I saw more footage pile in, and then I saw the blood on his face, I was like, well, hold on a second. What is happening? I didn't realize that the shooter was outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I mean, I don't know. I had no clue what happened, to be honest. Yeah. But, I mean, it makes sense. The shooter was on a rooftop, right? He was on a rooftop 150 yards away from where Trump was.
Yeah.
He was on a rooftop, and, he made his way to the rooftop.
And he took his shot, and he missed?
He missed,
From
bro.
150 feet? That's insane.
But, no, yards.
Oh,
150 yards. 150
gotcha.
yards away. He was 150 yards away, and he had a AR-15 rifle. AR-15 rifle, which, by the way, his dad owned. So he was using his dad's AR-15 rifle. He had explosives in his car and at his residence.
Explosives.
Okay. This is the reporting we've seen so far. I guess we can present the facts. The facts are Donald Trump was speaking at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. It's a small town. And he was talking about immigration. And they were displaying on the screen, the LED screen, data from the Biden's tenure about immigration. And Donald Trump looked to his right to look at the screen and show the audience. And that's when the bullet just took. Had he not moved, he would have been killed. He would have been killed. Donald Trump said he never really looks away from the audience. And that was
intuition, man.
I mean, no, because he was looking at the screen they were displaying, the immigration data. He was talking about it. So, I mean, he got lucky. He's saying it's God's sign.
He said God's sign.
He's saying it's
Donald J. Trump.
The luckiest man in the world.
That's insane.
The luckiest man in the world, man.
I have to say that was pretty badass.
Fight.
Yeah.
Did you see the video?
I saw the video.
He was like, let me get my shoes. Hold on, let me get my shoes.
shoes.
Can I say something about Donald Trump, bro? People give him a lot of slack. But after this incident, something is very evident to me.
Yeah.
He is the greatest marketer of all time. Even in the midst of an assassination attempt, he was like, let me look just right for the pose. He was orchestrating his would-be pose, and he knew this was go down in history as one of the most monumental moments. And in the span of seconds, bro. In the span of seconds, he was like, let me get my shoes. Wait. And I'm going to put up. And he stopped the agents. Yeah. He would stop your procedure that you trained for your whole life to let me pose and say, fight. He was pissed off, bro. At the end when he left, you see his face. He was angry.
Yeah, he was angry. I would be angry too, bro.
Yeah, bro. But to have that mental agility to think of those things in the span of seconds when your life is at threat,
insane,
that takes an insane amount of mental strength and just being narcissism too, I think.
While watching the video, you hear the first shot, right? And then you hear boom, boom, another 2 shots. And he hadn't dropped yet.
Because he didn't know what was happening.
Right. But they didn't hit him. And the guy shot another 2 times.
Well, so what happened was he killed
the
firefighter. So there was a man who was there with his wife and
kids,
his 2 girls. He has a girl dad, and he was a volunteer firefighter, and he protected his family, and he got shot in the head, instantly died. And then 2
Insane.
others were also critically injured. Hopefully we pray that they recover. And yeah,
Oh, Crooks.
Thomas
dead.
Matthew Crooks,
Yep.
20 years old.
That is insane,
A
dude.
20-year-old kid who graduated high school 2 years ago almost assassinated the 45th president of the United States of America.
I don't understand.
A
I don't
20-year-old kid, bro, with an AR-15 rifle.
How much hate can you have for Trump?
Well, so now we're finding more about Thomas Matthew Crooks, who he was. Turns out he
Mm.
was a solid student,
Yeah.
but his classmates say he was a loner. He got bullied incessantly, like constantly
Oh,
got picked
really?
on because of the way he looked.
Yeah.
Always sat alone when there was lunchtime. And so far they're saying he didn't really have any mental issues, but I mean, he was a victim of bullying.
I mean, yeah.
Clearly that
Clearly
affected him
something's
mentally.
wrong. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you're trying to assassinate the president of the United States, like,
How much responsibility do the parents bear for giving their kid access to a gun? I mean, obviously we don't know
Yeah.
exactly, like they just gave it to him, but should you have a gun in the house if you know something is wrong with your kid?
maybe they didn't know, right? I think the parents bear more responsibility not knowing the mental state of their kid than having a gun in the house. Because the gun is a tool, right? It's the same thing as a drill. It's the same thing as a chop. It's the same thing as a tool, right? It's just you can use a saw to kill somebody, can't you?
Yeah, but what the hell, bro?
But there's something wrong with you if you're doing
Right,
that. That's
I
my
see your point.
Yeah.
But I think they raised him for 20 years, and in that time I'm sure they would have seen signs that my kid,
Right.
he's sitting alone, doesn't really have any friends.
Well, they don't know he's sitting alone.
They were social workers, by the way, so they were counselors.
Oh my god.
Both
dude.
of the parents were social workers.
The irony, man.
So these are not people that are just
Yeah.
regular people that don't understand psychology. To a certain extent, as a social worker, you deal with people and you can
Yeah.
see signs. So that's why I say, like, come
Interesting.
on, should you really have an AR-15 at home if your kid is behaving that way it is? But again,
Yeah.
no one,
Nobody
bro.
knows,
Could they have
Yeah.
imagined my son wants to assassinate
Yeah.
the president, the former president of the United States, who's running for election again?
And a lot of times, bro, I think parents may see signs, but nobody wants to admit, dude, that there's something wrong with their kid, right? And that's a responsibility to admit something's wrong.
That's a really good point, bro. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, huh?
I've seen that parents refuse to think there's something wrong with their child.
Yeah,
Because I feel like they feel like it's their fault.
yeah.
And they don't want to admit it.
It's part of them, right? The kid is like literally an extension of you. And so if the extension of you is wrong, is bad? Are you bad as well, or did you do something bad the last 20 years of your life? It's a very touchy, cobwebby game, right? When you start talking about how bad a kid is, and you notice parents always get defensive.
Yeah.
Whenever you talk about your kid or you talk about somebody's kid, the parent is always going to get defensive, unless they're just pieces of shit, right? But
If you're confrontational with them about their kids.
I think either way, dude.
Either way?
Yeah, I see. I mean, maybe not always, but I do see it. People are like, "Don't talk about my kid. I'll handle it the way I handle it."
I've seen things go wrong. Parents get defensive when the other person is confrontational about their kids,
It makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because you're protecting your kid.
Right. A lot of people are trying to find out if Thomas Matthew Crooks was either Republican or Democrat. What is your take on that? Does it really matter? I mean, obviously it matters if the incident was politically motivated. Obviously it matters. But at the end of the day, do you think he did it because he hated Trump, or he wanted to just do something with his life where people, like where he got some sort of fame from it, where he felt fulfilled or something? There was a craving to make something of himself.
Like his name to be known.
Yeah, because it feels like he's been an underdog his whole life. People picked on him, told him probably you look like whatever. Because if you look at Thomas Matthew Crooks, he does not look normal.
No, he looks something. Yeah.
Something's wrong with the guy.
Yeah.
Like you could tell. And there's something to say, bro, about bullying culture. That's always gonna exist.
Yeah.
But I think kids who get bullied should understand you can talk back as well. I'm not saying be violent, but if somebody's constantly roasting you,
Yeah.
like watch some stand-up clips, understand the basics of comedy, and then clap back at them. Man,
And
is
then
that
you're gonna
like
get
is that
punched
a
in the
terrible?
face. That's the
You get
problem.
punched in the really? You think
Yeah,
so?
I
I
think
mean,
so.
then
I think
learn.
that's the fear. No, I think the fear, like when people bully you, not that they're actually using words against you. It's if you talk back, you're gonna get punched in the face, and nobody wants to get punched in the face, right? Nobody wants to get hurt.
So you're saying they're scared physically?
I think they're physically scared. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that's where all confrontation roots from.
Hmm. I like how I just gave the advice to every kid who gets bullied: watch stand up
I know, watch stand
to
up.
protect yourself. No, go to the gym. Don't learn how to fight.
No, but that makes
just
sense
learn
too.
stand up.
No, it makes sense too because it makes you quicker, right? It makes you more witty.
Yeah.
And if you're witty, then you can clap back faster. But if you clap back fast, at a certain point, you're gonna say something that really ticks off the bully, and the bully's gonna be "fuck off, I'm gonna get you."
I'll tell you something interesting. There were
Uh-huh.
kids around where I grew up, and that they used to tease me, borderline bullying about certain things,
Really?
and it affected me for sure. But I never had the right words to say to them. But now that
To
I've
clap
done
back.
stand up and like I have like if anybody says anything
Yeah.
negative to me, like in 10 seconds I can think of something to say back and I'm like, please do not try this again. You know what I'm saying? I feel more comfortable and safe. I feel like
Yeah.
protected because I'm like if somebody has something to say to me,
Yeah.
I will say something back.
Right.
If they're saying it in a condescending way. Obviously, if we're joking around,
Yeah.
teasing, yeah, roast me, bro. I'll
Right,
roast
right,
you
right.
back. But like if somebody's saying something to me in a
Yeah.
condescending way, you know, like come on,
It's
don't
not
do
one of
that.
those moments anymore where you're like thinking about it at midnight 2 days later.
Yes.
Damn it, I wish I would have thought of that.
I mean, I still think of that sometimes at
Yeah.
shows for crowd work. Like I could have said that, I could
Yeah,
have said that,
yeah.
but I mean like in personal relationships and stuff.
Right.
But back to Thomas
Yeah, back
Matthew
to
Crooks. I think it's probably because the kid got bullied a lot.
Yeah.
It built him to a person that he probably wasn't destined to be, but just became, and
Yeah.
he wanted to make a name of himself, and
That makes sense.
he found his way.
I mean, at first, I think at first glance, you're like, okay, he's assassinated Republican. He must be Democrat because he hates it so much. But then it's like, it's a small town, right? What city in Pennsylvania?
But so
Butler,
Butler, Pennsylvania. He lived an hour away.
Yeah.
They're saying he was a registered independent. Sorry, they're saying he's a registered Republican.
Yeah.
But he gave $15 to a progressive online fundraising portal called Act Blue. So
Thank
I
you.
mean, I don't know, but I
Yeah.
saw reports saying there's another guy registered who's 69, whose name is Thomas Crooks, who gave those $15. So we don't really
it's
know.
progressing right now.
He's
yeah.
a 20-year-old kid,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Is he really a solid Democrat and Republican? You know, like
He
we
doesn't
don't.
know yet.
He doesn't
yeah.
really know. It
Yeah.
seems like he was bullied a lot, and
Yeah.
that's probably one of the factors. Obviously, the investigation is going to be done. We can
Yeah.
sit here and speculate, so we don't know for sure, but that's what we know so far.
Yeah. And my question was, how often are presidents going to this kind of like this city, like a small part of Pennsylvania?
Well, the thing is, Pennsylvania is a swing state, so in elections,
Okay, a lot.
it's they go there a lot.
When's Biden going there, or has he been?
Biden's been there multiple times. Yeah,
Okay,
Biden's from Pennsylvania.
So then that makes me feel like it's more political based, right? Because if Biden was there, why not
well,
go
because
for Biden?
I don't know where he did the rally or whatnot, but yeah. Why didn't he go for
Yeah.
Biden? Why Trump? That's a good question.
He's not Amish at all.
Come on, man.
If he's Amish, he shouldn't have a gun. Amish people, get your boys.
People are
Yeah.
saying though, did you see that it was staged? It was not staged.
I've been seeing the conspiracies.
it was
bro.
not people.
Instantly, bro.
And I'll tell you, bro,
It's insane.
when I was around people and this
Yeah.
happened, people just jumped to conclusions instantly. I'm like, this literally just happened.
Yeah.
Nobody knows for sure
Nobody knows
anything.
anything.
Nobody knows anything.
Off the bat, you thought it was a BB gun. Right?
Yeah, I
Like,
didn't even know.
knows
Nobody even knows.
exactly.
Nobody knows anything.
Yeah,
That's why it's important not to jump to conclusions
100%.
when those things happen,
Yeah.
because everybody's like riled up and like, whoa,
Right.
what's happening? And those are the times where misinformation can spread super fast.
Right.
So if you say something wrong, like I said, you correct yourself instantly.
Yeah.
Right? That's really important to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like rumors spread and then it just becomes reality for some
Right.
people.
I think it's okay to take things at face value sometimes too. Like if a former president is being shot, you should potentially think it's true, not jump to conclusion that this guy is creating some master scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of standing with America too.
Yeah.
Regardless if you like the president or not, you should have respect for like
For the
leader.
office.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So
You should pray for that person as well.
exactly, to be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Like
guide you guys better.
to pray for leadership in general, and if they're attacked, to pray for their recovery.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what a
Biden
good person does.
said it.
Yeah.
Obama said it, right?
Yeah.
And
All
these
the former
are the
presidents.
guys that Trump mutilated in speeches, right?
He hates them. Yeah. And
Hates 'em.
kudos to them for standing
Yeah.
up.
That's the way a president should be.
Yes.
Something's wrong, you own it, and then you say, "Hey, I still hope you get better," right?
That's the basic decent thing to
That's
do.
just a decent human.
Yeah.
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 You pray for people if they're hurt, regardless, or not even like you pray for people if you think they're doing bad because you want them to do better. You're not hoping on their downfall, right? I mean, that's pretty fucked up if you're
Yeah.
praying on their downfall.
So Biden did an Oval Office address yesterday, and he
Right.
told the nation to come together,
Yeah.
pray for the former president,
Right, I seen
and he said political violence has no place in America, which is a good message
It is a
and
good
the right message to send.
I don't know if it's more of a do what I say, not as I do type thing, but
What do you mean?
I don't think. I think like we were talking about. I think politics are overly, what's the word? Like aggravated right now. Like
Polarized.
Polarized. There you go. That's the right word. It's so polarized that, like I told you, I think confrontation all roots down to like being physical, right? And I think causing confrontation with words, eventually these followers are going to become physical with things, and so yeah.
Somebody on our YouTube page made an interesting comment,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you made some comment about Trump being very aggressive in his rhetoric, which he has been for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
He's been he spews out a lot of hate towards people. And
Yeah.
you said that's not the right thing to do. And somebody said in our comments that politics has always been confrontational for the most part. In modern
Yeah.
history, it has been.
Even in
Look at how many.
history in
Look
general.
at John F. Kennedy got
Yeah.
assassinated, literally.
Yeah.
Ru-
History in general, bro.
Yeah.
How many emperors have been assassinated because
Sure.
their kid assassinated them? Children have assassinated their fathers because they wanted to be a king, right?
Yeah.
It's
Wait,
insane.
where did that? I mean, I'm sure that's happened. Yes.
In Rome.
Yeah.
In
yeah.
Rome with I don't remember the name right now.
Right.
But
yeah, that happens.
yeah.
But like I think to the degree
Was
that it's happening now, like so publicly and boldly, like personal attacks, that is something that's newer because they were definitely happening. But
yeah. I don't think it was publicized because we didn't have media.
you think that's? I mean, we
Yeah.
did. We had newspapers, TV,
No, like ancient
social.
Rome.
Oh, ancient Rome. Okay,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah,
yes.
But that's what I'm saying. I think this was happening for
You're saying
years, yeah.
politics has always been confrontational since the inception of time.
I think so. And something that wasn't common in history, right, was a multi-party system. That wasn't common, right? But Genghis Khan, for example,
Just monarchy.
monarchy. Genghis Khan's taking over countries at a time, right? So instead of it's a bipartisan system, like Trump versus
One dude,
Biden,
yeah.
one dude's going after countries, and that's a political game in
Yeah,
itself.
just land.
Yeah, which is it's still land right now, right? The game is land.
Why do you think politics is so personal and confrontational?
I think because a debate in itself is a confrontation.
Because we make it about ourselves instead of the ideas and issues.
No, I think a debate in general, even if it's about the idea, I think it's a confrontation. Like even us, right? We talk about things,
But we haven't thrown hands.
We've never thrown hands, but
Is it gonna happen
even
live on the
after-
podcast?
maybe,
Sometime.
maybe.
Stay tuned, folks.
But even after a debate, I'm sure you feel a little like, for some reason, there's some uneasiness about the conversation. But because we respect each other, that feeling goes away,
Mm.
right? But I think just rooted in debate and verbal conversation, it's confrontation.
I think, yeah, because I think people don't like being wrong. And if someone is telling you you're wrong
Yeah,
in a negative way, that gets to you.
100%.
And you're like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And here's why. You're
And-
wrong because your shoes suck.
A lot of times it
Because
doesn't even make sense.
your t-shirt
Yeah.
is white. Why is it white? Make it like, why are you wearing white?
Yeah.
White sucks. Wear red instead. They make it about the surface level things.
100%,
and-
yeah.
But
Gangs, Bloods versus Crips.
yeah,
Blue versus red.
gangs, right? Yeah, politics, blue
Politics,
versus red.
blue versus
Gangs,
red, yeah.
technically.
Yeah, type of gang.
Some people are also saying, "Oh, Biden did it. Biden made some comment about a bullseye, or like something. Biden says stuff, man, but everybody says stuff. Can I just say,
Biden says lots of things.
but so does Trump.
Yeah.
Biden did not order the assassination of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like, what? Imagine the conversation. He calls somebody. Can you assassinate Vice President Harris? What?
No.
Vice President Zelensky? Vice President Trump? He can't even get the name right of the
Yeah.
person. He's calling for the assassination. It was not Biden, right? It was
Yeah.
not an inside job. It was literally what happened was a security breakdown
Yeah.
because
A breach,
the building, bro, was
Yeah.
in the line of sight.
which should not be possible.
And before a presidential candidate goes up to speak,
Yeah.
20 days in advance, at least days in advance,
Right.
they have to basically
Scout out the area.
scout out the area and
Yeah.
look at all the rooftops
Right.
that are in the line of sight, which this building was, and clear it and make sure there's counter sniper units there,
Yeah.
which there was 2 counter sniper units present and
Which
that
is how
rally,
he got
which
killed.
is how he got killed
Right.
within like, I think, less than a minute he got killed probably. Yeah. But still,
Yeah.
still a bullet grazed his right ear, which could have killed him. So all of this is a matter of seconds, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. But did you see there's a video, and obviously it hasn't been fully verified yet, but take a look at this.
Okay.
A police officer sees the shooter on top of the roof. The shooter
Really?
points his gun at this police officer, and the police officer says, "Never mind." He backs away because the shooter pointed his rifle at him.
That's insane.
Now, I don't think the Secret Service should blame the local police. Obviously, it's their responsibility to make sure the safety
Yeah.
of the vicinity because that is their job. But that local police officer, what are you doing, bro?
I know, that's ridiculous.
Obviously, they haven't been trained, right, for those situations.
No,
Have
bro.
they?
Yeah, 100%.
But for like but that's the job of the Secret Service. No,
But that's
to
a
protect.
terrorist attack, technically. I mean, there's
Do-
anti-terrorist
I don't know
training.
do police officers get that
Yeah,
training?
I think so. I'm almost certain, yeah.
Why didn't that police officer do anything?
Coward.
He was a coward.
He's a coward.
And because of him, somebody.
Bro, if the president of the United States, I'm sorry, but the president of the United States holds more weight than you at this local level. Just all due respect, that's just the facts of the matter.
But somebody might say it's the job of the Secret Service.
Which it is, which
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going through hell right now, right? I'm
Sure.
sure there's a lot of changing going on, a lot of procedural changes right now. But if you see, like, even as me as a citizen, if I seen that, you yell, you say something, you do something, because a former president is about to get killed.
So there was a guy at the Trump rally outside.
Yeah.
So there's a venue, right? He's speaking, and then outside there's supporters gathered,
Yeah.
and they saw this guy at the rooftop, and they're saying he has a gun. He has a gun for minutes, and they told the police officers, and they're like, "What? What are you talking about?" And they saw him. Basically, I think what happened was there's a
Yeah.
lapse in communication because
Yeah.
they were outside versus inside, right? If this were
Mhm.
to happen inside, obviously, one person can literally shout, "There's a
Right,
gun,"
right,
and
right.
people would duck. But it was
Yeah.
outside.
A lot of noise going on.
That's why there was, I think, a lapse in communication. But that police officer had the opportunity to kill him at
Yeah.
to neutralize, as they say in security, neutralize the target. And he did not.
Yeah.
He looked away and he was like, "Never mind, do your thing." Essentially, right? That's what
Yeah.
he said, the police officer.
Well, I bet he's going to be inside. He might not say it, but he's going to be very ashamed of himself for a long time.
He should be, man.
Yeah, he should
He
be.
should be.
Yeah.
Because as a police officer, you take a pledge to put your life
You're
on
a
the
public
line.
servant, man. Yeah.
One of your jobs, I guess, what comes with the job is to sacrifice your life in service.
Yeah.
And
For normal civilians. Imagine the president.
yeah. Yeah.
you
The
know?
president of the United States of America.
But that just comes to show you, man, like, it doesn't matter if you have a badge or who you are. Human nature,
You're human at the
you're
end of the
human,
day.
man.
You're human.
Fear is rooted in human nature. And you have to, if you're a police officer, you have to fight that urge. If, like, in general, right, it doesn't matter what it is in politics and business, if you're a doctor, whatever, a dentist, you're fighting a fear every single day, right? You're going against your human nature.
And for somebody going in the line of duty, like a
Yeah.
police officer or somebody in the military, somebody in
Yeah.
the Secret Service, I think they all have to recognize they are signing away their life,
Mhm.
essentially. They are saying, "I am willing to sacrifice my life
Right.
for the sake of the country." And that's a very bold pledge to make.
100%.
Not every person can make that.
Yeah.
So if you as a person cannot come to terms with that pledge, then don't do it.
Find a different route.
Do something else.
Yeah.
And
Something
you know,
may be good at.
some people are okay with that, and that's
Yeah.
why they serve, and then some of us are not okay with that.
That's what we don't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all have different callings, right? If it's not your calling, man, if you want to just do it because you think it's gonna be like a lazy job, you get to sit in a car all day and give tickets. That's bullshit, dude. That's cowardice. Should not do it.
Oh, you're saying as a police
As a
officer?
police officer, yeah.
Right. Like if you think, oh, you just want to get a power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or yeah, some people do it just because they want that power high,
That's
right?
not right, man.
It's not right.
It should be to protect and defend your community
Yeah.
or your country, whatever law enforcement agency or service you want
Yeah.
to pursue.
And then that takes us to this whole RFK thing, how he's not getting Secret Service.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
So I looked up the general rule. The
Yeah.
general rule is only major presidential and vice presidential candidates get Secret Service detail, which means
Yeah.
either Democrat or Republican.
Right.
The
Well,
other metric.
That's the assumption, Democrat, Republican.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
right, because the law is major,
Right.
or the rule, I guess, in place, and then you get it 120 days before the general election, which means 4 months. So
Which it is now, right?
which it is
Yeah.
now, and you need to have at least 20% average
And he has
in
that,
a poll.
doesn't he?
He has 13%. He's around
13?
13%.
He said, okay.
But regardless, he's a Kennedy, bro.
Yeah.
He should get protection.
Yeah.
Look at the family.
I
His
know.
father got killed. His
Yeah.
uncle got killed. RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., if you don't know, is an independent person
Yeah.
running for president. Initially, he was running in the Democratic primary. The Democrats were like, nope, we're not letting anybody run the primary. Biden's our candidate. Screw all you guys.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, I'll register as an independent. And he's been requesting Secret Service detail.
Yeah.
And that has been rejected by the Department of
insane.
Homeland Security,
Yeah.
which is under the umbrella of the Biden administration. And dude, did you see what happened, right? At our RFK rally recently?
No.
A person dressed like a marshal
Mhm.
came with a weapon.
Dude.
That's a real thing that happened, yeah. And Donald Trump, to his credit, has now, after this assassination attempt,
Yeah.
called on RFK to receive Secret Service. Not called on, but called on the Department of Homeland Security, I
Yeah.
guess, which is in charge,
Right.
to give him the Secret Service.
Dude, a Kennedy. First of all, there should be respect on the Kennedy name, right? Just naturally, there just should be respect on their name.
Respect on their
There should be. There just should be, right? I mean,
Okay.
JFK, dude, he's done like pretty great things for our country, and then he died for our country.
He's killed,
He
right?
literally got assassinated. So I think for his descendants, and especially
Descendants, everybody
They
gets
are.
Secret Service.
well, if you're running,
If you're running for
president,
office, then yeah.
his descendants should have some respect, bro. Like, come on,
That's pretty.
that's pretty big.
Yeah. If you're running for president, yeah. RFK, come
RFK,
on.
he's not a bad guy, bro. He's not like trying.
It
to
doesn't
call
matter if you're a
for-
bad. Even if you're a bad guy, you should get Secret
True,
Service. If you're running for
true,
president. It
yeah.
doesn't matter if you're good or bad. You should get Secret
unless
Service
you're trying
detail.
to be a tyrant. Then I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Even then, if you are a major presidential candidate, you should get Secret Service. That's the basic thing. Yeah, he should get it. I
Yeah.
agree, man. There's no excuse for that at this point. And yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. How did he make you feel that day though? Because you had a lot going. You were moving,
Yeah.
different things,
I
moving into a new warehouse. Yeah.
honestly, my first when I saw BB gun, I kind of laughed. I was like, "This is ridiculous."
Mm.
And then when I heard, I was like, "This is kind of weird. This is weird. Like, what is wrong with people?" It made you know what it made feel very real. The heat of the country. It made it feel super real.
Mm.
Like you start to realize that all this polarization, it doesn't have. It's not just with words, man. People are actually getting hurt out there. People are actually so angry that they'll kill somebody. They'll risk their own life, and because he knew he was gonna die, right? It was a suicide. He was basically a kamikaze. He was a suicide bomber at that point, and he decided that he'll kill himself so he can get Trump, right? Like that's insane. How you hate your life that much?
I think he did.
Yeah,
I think what he hated his life and he wanted to prove something.
that he's
For
worth
himself.
something.
Yeah. He worked as a dietary aide at a nursing home. That was his job.
Bro, that is depressing in itself.
Is it? You're right. Yeah, you work in a nursing home as a
And you're
dietary
working
aide.
with
Yeah.
Elders all
Right.
day. These people are probably talking about, oh, I once was this, I once was that. I wish I was your age again. And then he's like, yeah, you wish you were my age again, only if you knew. Only if you knew my life.
Let me make sure it was a nursing home because I want to be accurate.
Yeah.
And somebody might troll me for going on my phone to make sure. I'm sorry, but you do the same thing. That's all of us. We get our facts from our phones. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's the internet.
It's the internet.
Nursing home, assisted living, retirement home. It's all the same shit, man.
Thomas Crook's job. And again, it's only been less than 48 hours, so we still don't know exactly who Thomas Matthew Crooks was, but
And the irony of his name, by the way, Crooks. What a crook.
So, yep, I was right. He did work at a nursing home, and yes, so this is a fact.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be accurate. People get you for
anything,
which is fine, which is accurate. But the thing is, I think we should make it clear. We are not a news source.
We're not professionals.
We're not claiming to tell you the news.
Yeah.
We're giving you our takes on the news.
Yeah.
And to do that, we're presenting you the facts. And yes, it is our job to get the facts straight.
Yeah.
But the onus will never be on us to be sources of 100% credibility because we're not claiming to be journalists. We're claiming to be commentators on the journalism that is done in news reports that we see. Now, we will always strive for accuracy, but sometimes we'll fail. Not intentionally.
Yeah.
Not intentionally. We're not trying to give you the wrong facts. We're just trying to be accurate. I only say this because sometimes people get super mad in the comment section. They get so mad that they make me question why it is I'm doing a podcast.
You can see how serious Ibrahim takes this. Takes it very serious.
I take it because we should because
the way I see
we might
it,
be the news source for some people.
the way
bro,
I see it, man.
Unfortunately,
Like we're taking facts that we're reading and we're just giving our opinions on it. And an opinion isn't a fact, right? And it's a game of telephone.
take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt. It's a game of telephone. If we're getting it from one news source and one news source is getting it from the primary source, and then you're getting it from us, this is a telephone game.
Yeah.
You can take our opinion and agree or disagree with us, but do your own research, right? I mean, we're two 23-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like, one's a comedian, one's a business owner. Like, no, you don't have to take everything we say so serious.
I think the strength of the podcast is our analysis, right? Like, of the things that happen. And so I think in terms of analyzing the Trump assassination attempt, politically speaking, I think it's been a blessing and a curse for Joe Biden. On one hand, calls for him to step aside are kind of shying away because a lot of people in his party were telling him to step aside, let somebody else take the mantle. And now you're not really seeing that because they're seeing, Republicans are now more united than ever before. But then on the flip side, their opponent, Joe Biden's opponent, Donald Trump, literally almost got killed.
Right.
And so many people are going to vote for him on the basis of that. Now, is the election over? No, it's not. Because so much can happen, bro.
I've seen so many people say this, by the way.
Election's over. They're saying election's over.
Trump's won. It's done.
Anything can happen.
Yeah,
We're still 4 months away from the general election. And people have short memories and attention spans. Some people will be like, oh, yeah, wait a second. Oh, yeah, that happened too, right? 4 months ago. 4 months from now, we'll be like, oh, yeah, Trump almost got shot and died. But I'll still vote Biden or vice versa. So a lot can happen and change. But based on what's happened, I think it's been a net gain for Trump. That is fair to say.
100%.
Very big net gain.
Yeah, big net gain. I think 19 points.
I don't know. I think the polling from what I've seen is still 51-49.
Really?
Yes.
I
but
read
again,
something this morning.
it's been less than 48 hours, bro. We don't really have any accurate polls to go off of.
Yeah, there's something I read this morning. It said that this is another fact. This is one I saw for sure. Trump has been ahead for 19 unprecedented days. That's how he's.
So not 19 points, but 19 unprecedented. That might be true for most polls, because from the polls that I've seen, or it's in battleground states, he's 51-49. 51-49, and that was before, I think. I don't know if that's
insane how close this is.
It's still close, but I mean, this is because obviously we're doing this podcast on Monday, July 15th.
Yeah.
The attempt happened, assassination attempt, on July 13th. So less than 48 hours. There'll be more polls.
Right.
We'll look at polls in a week or something. That will be the right time to look at polling. But
once we're back from Costa Rica,
Elon Musk endorsed Donald Trump officially.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. I'm officially announcing Donald Trump.
Oh, Elon, you should run for president. I would not want Elon as a president, respectfully.
Why not?
He's a genius. Don't get me wrong, but
Elon.
that guy, his social skills just aren't the best. He's a funny guy. I mean, he's just not the best socially. And like when he's giving speeches, he's very analytical, right? So when he's thinking, he takes long breaks, and it makes, at least when I'm watching him, it makes me lose cohesion with his train of thought.
I think he's careful with his words now.
He's very careful.
Yeah.
But that's a problem sometimes. When you're so careful, you kind of lose the point of what somebody's saying.
Would you vote for Elon Musk or Joe Biden? I mean,
Elon.
talk about lapses in
Yeah,
speech. Joe Biden loses trains of
No,
thought.
Joe Biden shouldn't even be in the race. Like, it doesn't even make sense what's happening right now. It just makes it's mind-boggling, actually. But
It is what it is now.
Yep.
It looks like it will be Biden and Trump in the general election in
it's gonna be-
November if they both
Yeah.
live and survive. We'll see. What if
Yeah,
there's an
another
assassination
assassination
attempt on Joe Biden? Then what happens? What would Joe Biden do in that case?
die.
I fear that,
Yeah.
bro. Because I think if they
He doesn't
told
have
him
as
to
much
duck,
mobility.
he might like just walk around the stage and
Yeah.
give the shooter like tens of opportunities to get him.
Well, the thing is, Biden.
I feel bad for.
you
I
see the
do
way-
now feel bad for Joe.
Right? Thank you.
Now I do
Yeah.
because
Thank you.
not. I reluctantly say this, bro, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I reluctantly say this.
When
but
you watch Joe Biden on
I
stage,
fear for his safety now, dude.
dude, he has no mobility. He's like the way he moves, he can't even move his neck. That shooter has fucking great chances.
But by the way, Thomas Matthew Crooks, I know people say he missed, but
He
to get
hit,
that
man.
close to
I know
a
that's insane.
former president,
It's a football field.
a 20-year-old kid.
Yeah.
This is a 20-year-old kid, bro, who wears glasses, by the way. Who wears glasses. He doesn't have 20/20 vision.
Dude, imagine the angst in his position. He's there on a rooftop with an AR-15, seeing the president in the scope, and he's like, I'm going to do this.
And he pulled the
hyping-
trigger.
hyping himself up. And he, in that moment, he decided this is the right decision for myself and for the country.
I don't think he was thinking about the country. He was just thinking about himself. He was
Whatever.
he was thinking about all the bullies that bullied him.
Bro,
Probably.
imagine the moment he realized he missed.
He didn't get the moment to realize, bro.
I
They
think
shot
a
him.
minute. No, because then he shot at the president and he decided to move.
No. What happened was he was aiming for him and he missed.
Yeah.
And he killed Corey, the volunteer firefighter that we talked about.
So the stray bullet hit the firefighter?
So
There was multiple shots
There was
fired.
multiple shots. I think they were.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
he shot at the president, grazed the ear, and then decided he's
No,
gonna
but
go
there
for
was shots
civilians.
before. No.
It
He
was before? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
Yes. Look at the video. So
Okay.
he shot before. He missed.
Okay.
Dun. There's
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah.
That's when he. I don't know if accidentally. I don't know if he was intentionally trying to kill people at the rally, but he did. He killed Corey at that time,
Uh-huh.
and he critically injured others. And then he kept missing, and then he
Yeah.
finally made a shot that grazed his right ear, Donald Trump's right
Okay.
ear. And then if you see the video, the counter sniper units got him.
Yeah. Okay, I have to rewatch. I don't know how true that is because sound is delayed a lot, much, threefold faster than
Well, he missed initially.
Viewing,
He missed.
yeah.
He kept trying though, and the fact that he was able to get like more than one shot off, it
Yeah.
should be instant, bro. He should be killed instantly.
Hmm.
The sniping is a sniper. Obviously, it's hard to.
When
it's-
you hear a gunshot, you're looking, right? You're trying to figure out where.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's videos of the sniper units getting ready, and because they spot him and they're getting ready
Yeah.
to see what's happening, and then apparently, and I don't know this for sure, but he had approval, the sniper units, to take out targets.
Do they have to ask for approval?
He had approval. Apparently, again, this is
It
not
should be
confirmed.
pre-approved, right?
It was pre-approved
Yeah.
that they have right.
Right.
This is a very convoluted
Well, that guy's a hero.
discussion.
That
The
sniper.
sniper.
Yeah.
Look, bro, the people who protected Donald Trump on that stage, they're all heroes too. They put
Yeah,
their
yeah.
bodies
In the way of
literally.
him.
It's they stockpiled on top of him,
Yeah.
and they carried out for the most part the right procedures on stage. I'm talking about the Secret Service agents
Yeah.
on stage, and yeah. Can you tell Donald Trump? Imagine telling him no, don't raise your fist, because isn't that technically a security threat? Obviously, they
Raise your
lifted him up
fist?
only when
Yeah.
they said the target had been neutralized, that's when they lifted him up, right? Until then, they stay on
Gotcha.
top of him, and then you know what they do? They check for wounds. So as they're on top of him, they're touching his body, every single body part,
Yeah.
to see where he has a wound. Yeah,
There's a
bro.
lot of
Yeah,
agents on him, dude.
yeah,
I was
as
like,
they should. Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
So what? I'm confused with the shoes. Did they fall off? What happened? Were they off? Was he standing?
No,
on
because I think
stage?
the Secret Service agents took off his shoes to see if there was anything in his. Yeah, just to make sure.
Shoes.
They've trained for this.
And why was he so serious about his shoes? I'm sure he has a million pairs. He's a billionaire.
Because he doesn't want the image of him without shoes. He wants to be like, look, I have my shit together. I'm raising my fist up, and this
With the
happened to me.
shoes, though? You can't see your feet.
No, he would have gotten photographed when he was coming
Holding
down.
the shoes?
That's what I'm saying, bro. He thinks about every single little detail, even in that moment where he may have gotten killed.
Yeah.
He's thinking about the photo op.
Wow,
Donald
dude.
Trump is thinking about the photo op as he is literally in moments where he can get killed.
That is narcissistic.
Narcissistic, but
But
he
smart.
and
Yeah.
he's the greatest
Dude.
marketer of all time.
He's the
literally-
greatest marketer of all time.
Bro, from that debate stage, not debate stage, sorry, that rally stage.
Yeah.
Again, I'm repeating myself, but he was literally planning the picture that was gonna go on top of every single newspaper,
Yeah.
every single online publication, and he
Greatest
made it happen.
marketer of all time.
He's the greatest marketer of all time, in my opinion. He is. How else do you tell me a man who used to host the show The Apprentice goes from that to become the president of the United States?
Reagan was an actor.
Yeah, but he was like he didn't even. I don't know, man. Donald Trump, in my opinion, is
Yeah.
one of the greatest. Sorry, one of the greatest marketers of all
Please
time.
don't use absolutes. I don't like absolutes.
That's crazy.
That is
bro.
crazy.
He's thinking about his shoes. He's thinking about. And he laid
Dude.
fight. I've never seen him. I've seen Donald Trump angry, but not like that. Not like that, bro. I saw like.
Are shirts already available?
Of course, of course.
Instant.
You can buy those shirts.
Instant. People are so money hungry too. Huh? Instantly, like
Instant.
capitalizing on the president's attempted assassination.
People capitalize on anything.
Insane. I should do that too, huh?
Capitalize on what?
Inst-
No,
instant
don't do
millionaire,
that.
bro. That's kind of unethical in a way.
It is,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's technically good for Trump. More publicity.
Hell yeah, it's good for Trump, huh?
So
Dang. Well, remember his picture, his mugshot got released,
Yeah.
got leaked.
yeah,
Dude, so many people made money off of that guy.
dude, what are people gonna say when they read back on this time? Like my
they look
kids,
back?
30 years from now, right? Or like not 30 years, hopefully, but like 10, 20 years. What are
yeah.
they gonna say?
I think it depends how history remembers this election.
How will history remember Donald Trump?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel like it's going to be rewritten a certain way, but
Well, up until the assassination attempt,
yeah.
he was definitely going to go down in history books as somebody who came very close to destroying democracy.
Real? You think so?
Well, yeah, because he disputed the results of a free and fair presidential election, right? And he said and done a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think Trump's been a net negative for the country, in my opinion. But yeah, we don't know what history is gonna say.
Yeah,
But
if-
I don't
if
think
you're not-
history is gonna
yeah.
look at Donald Trump in kind terms.
No,
I don't know. I think this might change after
Yeah.
the assassination attempt. I'm talking about Trump as a leader for the country. But this changes things, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Because now, I don't know if you saw, the Republican National Convention is happening in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And he's rewriting his whole speech to be about unity.
Good.
Donald Trump
Yeah.
talking about unity.
Smart move.
Unprecedented.
Yeah.
So now, I don't know, it might change, bro, a little bit. Like, because we don't see, when you think of Trump, you don't think of him as a uniting
No.
force.
You,
You don't-
very divisive.
Divisive.
Yeah.
But now, it might
We'll see.
change. If does it take a bullet to your
Almost
ear
dying,
to
yeah, man.
change you? I think so.
Dude, I've met people that were inches away from dying from a bullet, and they said that their life flashed before their eyes, and they realized, what am I doing? And these are
Mm.
normal civilians. Imagine you're trying to be president of the United States to guide a country. I'm sure it makes you think like, hey, have I been doing the right thing? You know?
What
But
do you
he's
think he-
also capitalizing on it, right? This unity thing.
Yeah.
So
It's all politics.
marketing, yeah.
What do you think he was thinking in that moment? Because he said he didn't know what's happening, and he just
Yeah.
ducked down.
well, he was looking. He looked super confused.
Well,
heard
he said
those.
when blood came down, he immediately ducked down because he was like something is wrong.
Yeah.
Because when a bullet grazes you, you don't feel it, do you? Do you feel it?
Yeah. Like a gust of wind, at least.
A gust of wind, but
I think the adrenaline immediately takes over.
Mm,
Even when you get shot, I think adrenaline takes over. It's like, but you don't feel like the hurt of internal bleeding yet.
right.
It takes time. I think he's gonna get closer with Mike Tyson though, right? They both have an ear situation.
I had this joke. I don't know if you saw. I think Joe Biden can still win the presidential election, but he has to bite off Trump's other ear at the next debate.
Yeah,
If he has to literally chew it on stage, bro, to disprove every person who says he's not mentally fit. I just chewed this guy's other ear off. I think that's the metric that Joe Biden has to meet.
Unfit. That'd be more mentally unfit. Tyson was beyond
He
mentally
bites
unfit.
off Donald Trump's other
Oh
ear.
my
Yeah,
God.
obviously.
Yeah.
But
Imagine they got in a ring together. Trump and Biden.
Well, he called him. Biden called Trump
No.
after the attack.
Oh, called him. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
he
I thought you were
called.
saying called on him.
Oh, to be
in
on the
Are you
ring? No.
crazy?
Well, a golf match they did, right?
A golf
They
match,
said,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
do a golf match. What if they do a golf match?
Oh, that'd be lit. I would watch that.
Trump still beats him.
Trump is gonna destroy him.
I just got shot, Joe, but I can still beat you. You do not have a 6 handicap, Joe. Stop lying. Bro, instead of
That'd be
asking about the
amazing, bro.
investigation, he's like, can you just say you don't have a 6 golf handicap? I don't need to know if you didn't try to kill me. I don't need to know. Just tell the people what they want to hear. You don't have a 6 golf handicap.
When's the next debate? This month, right?
September.
Oh, September? The second
Yeah.
debate, September?
September.
Is there
2
there'll be a
months
third
before.
debate, right? Or no?
I think there's only 2.
Only 2.
But there will be a vice presidential debate.
Okay.
And Donald Trump picked J.D. Vance, the senator from Ohio,
To be his VP?
to be his VP. It's not still confirmed. Again, this is
Okay.
Monday. We're doing the podcast at like around 1 p.m. Pacific time.
So not Vivek.
But- Not Vivek. It's going to be J.D. Vance from the reports I've seen.
Wow. I don't
Yeah.
know who that is.
Dude, they made a Hollywood movie on this guy. He's a very inspirational story.
Really?
He comes from a town that was, you know, a lot of opioids were prevalent in his community.
Okay.
He's comes from a single mom, comes from a very poor family,
Yeah.
and he made his way to Yale Law School. And the movie, bro, Amy Adams did the movie
What is
with
it
Glenn
called?
Close. Let me look this up.
Yeah. Let's look this up.
J.D. Vance.
Sorry, guys. We don't know
Hollywood
every
movie.
movie name in.
Yeah,
in
I'm sorry.
history.
I have to use my phone and go on Google to look up something. J.D. Vance.
Shout out Cinephile Club on Instagram. That guy gives me great movie recommendations.
Hillbilly Elegy.
Oh, I've
Great
seen
film.
that. That's
You've seen
him?
that? That's him. That's J.D. Vance. Yeah.
That's on Netflix.
Yeah, that's on Netflix. That's based on J.D.
Really?
Vance's. Yep. It is based on J.D. Vance's life with Glenn Close and Amy Adams. A great film.
Great film, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know it was a true story.
Yep.
Wow. Good for that
Yeah.
guy.
So, yeah, this is officially confirmed. Donald Trump's vice presidential candidate will be J.D. Vance. The Republicans got us. Hey, look, there's a Hollywood movie.
yeah.
So,
He made his way up to potentially being VP.
yeah.
Insane, huh? See, but that just goes to tell everyone's saying American Dream is dead. American Dream isn't dead just yet. You can be this guy from this shitty community and work yourself up to potentially being the vice president of the United States of America. Who knows? Maybe even president one day, right? We'll see how it goes. But yeah, keep the American Dream alive.
Bro, if Donald John Trump can be our
Yeah.
president, you can do anything you want. The sky is the limit,
Yeah.
bro. The sky
Yeah.
is the limit.
I think
If that man can be president,
No, bro, come on. I think it's hard to become vice president from a shitty little town than
no,
being-
of course, no. My point is,
Yeah.
if Donald Trump became
Yeah.
president, and everybody said, myself included, I didn't think he was gonna win in
Right.
2016. Nobody thought he was gonna win. I
Nobody
don't even
thought.
think he
didn't
thought
think
he
so,
was
yeah.
gonna win.
Do you remember the election day? He was like in shock. Like
I'll
really?
never forget 2016,
Yeah.
bro. Have I told you the story
insane.
of 2016?
When it happened. No.
I was volunteering for some political campaign. This is me when I was 16, right? And I was at like this they named it was supposed to be a victory party for Hillary Clinton. It was called
What?
bad It was called. So Donald Trump referred to Mexican people as a certain term. It was
Yeah.
like bad madres and amigos or something.
Okay.
Something like that. Something like that. I
Yeah,
might
yeah.
be wrong with the terminology. Regardless, I was
Bad
supposed to.
madres? As bad mothers.
Yeah, no, like
Okay.
amigos or something. Yeah, like something like.
Okay.
It was. It was a. It was
It's
a.
okay. It's okay.
It was
Derogatory.
something like that,
Okay.
and they were like, it was a Hispanic. It was basically supposed to be a victory party with a bunch of local Hispanic Democrats
Okay.
celebrating Hillary Clinton. And me and somebody from my high school went there because we volunteered for some campaigns. This is me in high school as a
Yeah.
junior, and I go there, and as the hours go by, everybody just keeps getting more and more silent. Like
No
it was all like
way.
happy and joyous. I'll never forget this. It was all happy and joyous. I was like, whoa! And then like everybody just started like, people were having conversations
Yeah.
and people were not really paying attention to the TV at a party. Everything dwindled down. Everybody just looking at the TV and they're like,
Eyes are glued.
what the hell? And then on the way back, I'm like looking at the phone, looking at the
Yeah. the
exit polls and the data from states,
Yeah.
and I was like, whoa, he might win. And then an hour and a half later, I think it was around midnight that
Yeah.
day, I get home, and Donald Trump is
Won.
making a speech as president-elect of the United States.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, bro.
So everyone drove home sad and
Well, they were just shocked. They were like,
Yeah.
oh, well, yeah, I guess. What the hell?
hey,
Everybody, remember how everybody said, I'm going to go to Canada. I want to go to
Yeah,
Canada. I'm
everyone
moving to
was saying
I'm
that.
moving to Canada if Donald Trump becomes president.
were
Nobody moved to
billboards.
Canada.
There were billboards.
Nobody moved to Canada.
It's hilarious.
Nobody moved to Canada, bro. And America, like, can I just say, we are doing much better than Canada. We have more opportunities here than Canada.
Yeah. Our population is 10 times the population
Right.
of Canada. I mean, the economy is booming.
Why go to
more.
Canada?
Yeah.
Go to some better country.
Yeah. I just think it's close.
Oh, that's why we really
Yeah.
don't want Canada.
And people, I mean, I think it's a connotation that Canadians are nice. And so that must mean they're more peaceful.
I thought Canadians were nice.
Ibrahim,
Let's
found out
save it for
otherwise.
some other story.
Okay.
I have a story about Canada. I like Canadians. I have nothing against
About
them.
Ottawa.
But all of us, we had a terrible experience.
Yeah.
Our first time in Canada was one of the worst things ever happened to me, him, and Jenish.
It's funny.
I'll save it for some
It's
other
funny,
time.
okay.
Yeah. But as a whole, bro,
Yeah.
I think this might have been,
A positive moment.
yes. And obviously, I'm very sad, bro. I was getting a little emotional reading about the volunteer firefighter
Oh,
who
yeah,
who died, bro,
Okay.
because he was protecting his family.
I know, it's insane.
He was a hero, and he is no longer with us because of some stupid 20-year-old kid.
So a missed bullet hit this guy.
Yeah, he was aiming for Trump. Again, right? We don't know for sure
Yeah,
if he was
yeah.
trying to get the people there, but I think his main target was Trump.
No,
But
okay.
he shot I think at least 8 times. At least 8 times.
That's insane. He got shot in the head by.
Because, bro, if he wanted to kill Trump supporters, right, or people in
Yeah.
Trump, he could have just killed all the people outside.
Could've,
He
yeah.
could have just opened fire. But I think he was there to
Yeah.
get Donald Trump. Again, FBI is conducting an investigation,
Right.
and they'll give us more details. But I think his target was Trump.
Okay.
And in this way of getting Trump, he killed somebody.
Interesting.
And critically injured 2 others who I pray recover
Yeah.
and make a safe return to their homes and don't have any deep medical problems. But yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Imagine being in that guy's shoes, dude. Being on that roof and realizing you missed your target.
I don't want to imagine. That's sickening, bro.
It's sick, dude. But imagine this guy's
Sickening in a terrible way.
Yeah.
Somebody listening, yeah. It's
his anxiety must have been through the roof. His adrenaline. He must have
you're not normal if you want to kill the president of the United States. Actually conduct an operation.
But you're
you
still
might
human.
hate a presidential
Yeah.
candidate, but if you actually want to kill them
Yeah.
and get a gun and get on top of a roof,
fucking crazy.
how did people not people saw him, but was he carrying the rifle in a bag? Was he barely carrying the rifle? With his bare
I don't-
hands? How did it work?
Well, some rifles you can take off. You can disassemble it, right?
Right.
Pieces. So it might have been.
That's
a
what my
small
question is.
bag.
Did he assemble his
Yeah.
ammo on that rooftop? Did he assemble it before coming? How did that? Do we have video of that?
No, I don't think there's video. Well, a lot of these psychopaths, they record a lot of their procedures and a lot of things that they're planning on doing.
They can't find any of his social media accounts.
Maybe
Not
he
that
didn't
I've
have
seen.
any.
Yeah.
You can't find any, or they
No,
can?
no. Reporters, journalists,
Okay.
and people investigating have not cited a credible social media account. There's rumors that he has a Discord or something along the lines.
I'm sure his laptop's confiscated, right? And
Of course, they're
things
doing
are
a whole
gonna-
investigation in his house.
Things are going to be found out.
Yeah.
I actually feel like there's probably some video. Have you ever seen the movie Rampage?
No.
Rampage is a movie about similar situation. A guy is angry at the world, right? But instead, it's a mass murder, right? Instead of an assassination, and he records all of his videos and all like his process leading up to this procedure, right? And I think that's based on fairly true fairly true events. And it just tells you that a lot of these psychopaths out there, they feel so unheard that once they realize that they're gonna die one day, right? And this footage is gonna be released, and they're gonna be thought of as maybe a mastermind or somebody that was actually smart and not some fool. So we'll see, but I'm sure there's something out there that he wrote down or some video or
Like, you mean like a confessional?
not even confessional, maybe even like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the country as a whole now. There's a lot of kids being bullied. And if not assassinating the president, they might want to shoot up a school, as
Yeah.
they do, as we've seen many examples
Yeah.
of young men who either get bullied or are mentally ill,
Yeah.
and they conduct violent attacks on people. How do we prevent that from happening?
It's impossible.
You can't.
Bullying has happened. It's less than before.
You think so?
Yeah. Bullying
Really?
less than before, like in-person bullying. Yes.
There's more online bullying
bullying,
now,
which I think
which is either worse or equally bad. It's
Yeah.
not, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's still in-person bullying.
I think
bro.
people are less physically being bullied.
You think
There's
is
less
that
physical violence.
is that are you for sure? I don't know. I think it.
I
don't know.
think so. I think I saw. Well, I'm not gonna say it's a fact, but I think that's.
We
true.
should have somebody on the podcast, an expert on
Like a
like bullying, or
psychologist?
like a psychologist, because I think we can stop physical bullying.
We can. I don't think
I
so.
Like, I'm not saying total,
Yeah.
but we can, as a culture, right?
Yeah.
As a culture, be more cognizant of it.
Do you remember all the anti-bullying stuff we used to watch and do, middle school and high school? Or do you remember that? There's a lot in elementary. Well, you weren't here for elementary here, but we had it was anti-bully week. There
Really?
Yeah, anti-drug week. All this stuff was super prevalent.
Mm.
And to be fair, I don't remember any bullying going on in elementary at all.
What the thing is, bullying is such a hard term. Sometimes it can just be constant teasing, like picking on
Sorry,
the
physical.
same.
There was no physical
right.
bullying.
Well, I don't think he
Yeah.
got that physically bullied. It was just he was a loner, bro. Like,
Yeah.
even being lonely
I think
at
that's
school,
worse.
that's worse,
Yeah, I
bro.
think that's worse.
Because if you get beaten up,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't know which is worse, actually. You know, I don't know what is worse, but I think obviously if somebody physically harms you, that's worse than mental. Because if you actually are like dying of
Well, if you're
physical
dying,
bullying, or like somebody
yeah.
punches you and it affects your eye or something.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I think, yeah, bro, going back to the concept of loneliness, like if somebody is sitting at lunch alone the
Yeah.
entire time, nobody's talking to them, and the only time somebody talks to them, like, oh, your hair looks dirty, nasty, what kind of a face do you have, or something like that,
Yeah.
that's going to affect somebody, you know, very deep level.
For sure.
I think it's up to kids individually, though, in those moments in time. If you see somebody who's alone sitting,
Sit next to them. Talk.
sit
to
next to them, talk,
Yeah.
just ask them how their day went.
Might save your life one day.
It might save somebody else's
Yeah.
life. It's actually heroism at
Yeah.
a certain degree,
It
because
is.
you're talking to somebody. I don't think it's heroism, actually. I take that back. It's decency, bro. Come on. It's not heroic to talk to somebody who's sitting alone. That's the nice thing. That's
Yeah,
the
that's a nice
decent
thing
thing
to
to
do,
do.
yeah.
It's not heroic.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But I think you should do it now. If kids listening in are concerned about their schools,
Yeah.
talk to the lonely kids. Talk to the weirdos. Try to understand them.
Yeah.
Even if they're like being weird around you, just try to make them feel like somebody is trying to listen to them, because that might be enough for
Yeah.
them to stop from doing whatever it is they plan to do.
And respectfully, if people should be take things less personal too. If and this is out of respect completely, I'm not trying to dog on anybody, but if you are being bullied for something certain, maybe there's a reason for it, right? So if like you're saying like your hair is dirty, maybe try to clean your hair, maybe try to get a nice haircut, right? If the goal is you feel less heard, you know what I'm saying? If you feel less heard or excluded, then maybe try to do something that prevents that from happening.
Yeah, but oftentimes, bro, the personal attacks on people's like kids' appearances when the kids criticize, it's out of their control. Like, somebody's like teeth are crooked, if somebody's broke, they can't fix their teeth.
True.
What are they gonna do?
True.
Somebody, sure, if somebody's saying you smell, you can try to like take a
Wear
shower,
deodorant. But I'm just saying, best of your
Right.
abilities.
Yeah,
Do your best.
I guess you can self-reflect. But
Yeah.
if it's a constant thing and somebody is unwarranted attacks, you can't really do something.
It's not
about
right.
it.
I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
The bullying isn't right ever, but you can do something.
Yeah, I mean, I would say any kid being bullied right now feels like they're being teased.
Or
learn how to fight, because that gives you credibility.
Yes.
Secondly, get better at talking to people.
I was gonna say that right now.
Get
learn
better
how
at
to
talking,
talk, dude.
Just learn how to talk.
If you know how to talk and somebody's making fun of you for something, teeth, for example, you can simply express, like, what do you want me to do? I can't. You want me to buy fucking braces? Buy me fucking braces then, dude.
Yeah.
Buy them.
Yeah.
And then I'll get my teeth fixed. Trust me. You think I want my teeth like this?
Sure.
Right? If you know how to express yourself in certain ways and stand up for yourself in that way.
And a lot of times, we've talked about this before, you can make fun of yourself. Once you start making fun of
Be
yourself,
self-deprecating.
it's
Yes.
like, oh my God, this guy already knows.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
It just be like, yeah, I got crooked
Self-deprecation?
teeth. I got the dirtiest teeth in the world.
Yeah.
I have the most yellow teeth, and
Yeah.
I love it, bro.
If your teeth are yellow, brother, fucking brush your teeth, please.
Sure.
One thing I will say about teeth,
Oh my God.
and
Here we go.
this is something I feel like teeth are a very lasting impression on people,
Yes.
right? All the time you hear compliments. Your teeth are nice. I hear all the time, Matt, your teeth are so white. Do you whiten them? No, man. I brushed my teeth twice a day. One time I brushed them going in college. I was going to a high school prom, and I had done 4 strips of teeth whitening. It whitened my teeth like hell. But then I brushed my teeth twice a day. I'm very cognizant of even my my canines and back. If you're cognizant of that, your teeth will stay clean. They'll look nice. Just keep up. You should, regardless of bullying, you should want yourself to look presentable.
Sure.
You shouldn't feel like, I don't need it. Who cares if my teeth are yellow? Dude, come on, bro. We live in a social society. Like, there's some social credibility that goes.
What if it's not working?
Look.
What if you're brushing 2 times a day? You're using Sensodyne whitening, extra whitening, but they're still yellow. What do you do?
Crest whitening strips with the blue light.
So is that a formal endorsement?
That is
for
a
Matt
formal endorsement.
Gutierrez?
Yeah,
Did I just mispronounce your last name?
Yeah,
Matt Gutierrez.
I don't know what you said there.
Matt Gutierrez is formally endorsing what?
Crest whitening strips with blue light.
They'll work for every single person.
They will work.
You will get white teeth.
You will get white teeth.
And if that does not happen,
It's a $50.
are you willing to
pack.
refund somebody?
I will definitely tell Crest to refund them.
You will tell Crest,
I
but
will
not
tell Crest.
individually.
I will email Crest for you. Trust me.
You don't want to personally take on?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
Until I get until we get an actual Crest whitening strip endorsement on the Gen Z Speaks podcast.
But you already endorsed them. You
I
want to take
won't
it back?
refund though. If I get money from Crest, I will refund somebody. Not lots of people, but somebody out there.
Damn,
help you
that's
out.
good. If we ever get in the position, God willing, where we have sponsors,
Yeah.
I only want to get sponsors that we actually
Believe in.
use. Like, we use the product.
Yeah. Crest. Okay, I'm gonna tell just real quick. It's a $50 box. Okay. It's a
Okay.
$50 box, small. You can get it from Target.
Yeah.
7 whitening strips in there, and there's a blue light thing. You wear the strip for 50 minutes. The last 10 minutes, you put the blue light in there. There's 7 in there. I recommend don't do all 7 back to back. Do 4 back to back. Your teeth, your gums are going to be sensitive. Your teeth are going to be sensitive, but give it a week or 2 back to normal. And then if you're not super keeping up with your teeth, once a year, just do 1 strip. Because it's going to eat your enamel, and you don't want your teeth enamel to be eaten, or else you're going to have to get veneers one day because they're going to be so bad. But there you go. That's how you get white teeth.
That's the best Crest commercial I've seen
Thank you.
ever. That's the only one I've seen.
Thank you.
They might use this as a clip.
I hope they do.
Would you charge them for
I
that?
would definitely charge them.
What if they use this clip, they circulate it around, and it goes viral, bro? We never see a dime.
I will file a lawsuit.
Can we file a lawsuit?
I will.
But you already formally endorsed them. You screwed us over, bro. Take it back. No, actually take it back.
No,
for
I'll
legal
never
purposes.
take it back. I will sue you, Crest. Give us money.
No, just
Pay for our studio.
pay for ours.
If you pay for our studio, I will allow it. It's not very much money, so.
Yeah,
There we
it's
go.
important to have a good smile, man. It changed
It
my
is.
life
It
when I
changed
had a
your
good
life.
smile. I
There you
was
go.
always insecure about my smile because I think did I talk to you about the
One time you talked on the pod, but go ahead.
on the podcast?
yeah.
It's
Let's talk
fine,
about it. Because people aren't
Basically-
watching every podcast, right? We can recirculate.
Yeah, basically what happened was I immigrated here from Pakistan.
Yeah.
And right before immigrating, I got braces. Like a year ago, I got a year before immigrating, I got braces. I think a year or some months.
Okay.
And then it was only the front 4 teeth and only the front 4 teeth actually, because it was a procedure. They were figuring some stuff
Yeah.
out. Then when we moved there, nobody would remove my braces, and the wire got messed up. So my teeth actually regressed because the wire was off.
Right.
The front 4 teeth got all messed up. The bottom was already crowded.
Yeah.
And because we were struggling financially, giving me a perfect smile was not a top priority.
Yeah, it wasn't
Obviously, it was to
necessary.
survive and eat. But then eventually, like somehow down there, God willing, everything worked out. Where 4 or 5 years later, I
Yeah.
got braces, and Dr. Cho, shout out Dr. Cho,
Dr. Cho.
the best orthodontist in the world. I will say he has
Yeah.
my full endorsement. He fixed my teeth, bro. I don't know how he did it fast within like 10 months. He
I've
fixed me
never
up.
seen that happen, dude. That was fast.
It was kudos to my dad. My dad, Dr. Cho actually advised that I take out some teeth, and my dad
Yeah.
was like, "No, he's not gonna take any teeth out." And Dr. Cho was like, "Oh no, actually, good idea. Let me figure a way around it," and he
Yeah.
did. And dude, I just felt so much more confident. Like I always used
Yeah.
to try to hide my smile. People used to make fun of my gums a lot. Kids used to say, "You have
Yeah.
black gums, black gums. You got black gums," and I was like, "That was out of my control, bro. The
Black
color
gum.
of my gums." Okay, first of all, there's nothing wrong with having black gums.
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem is, but kids used to
People are
make
just
fun of
mean,
me,
bro.
bro. They were
People are
just mean.
mean.
They were stupid, and
Yeah.
like now, I have like one of the best smiles.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and like I get compliments on it, and I was like, that's God's plan.
Yes, sir.
That's and like, bro, you can't even look.
That's the biggest
see my
fuck you.
gums anymore. I don't know what happened.
Huh.
Like when I smile, I'll smile.
Yeah,
You can't really see my
can't really
gums
see-
before.
You're right. I remember that. You could
Yeah,
see your gums more.
Yeah, bro. It's
What happened?
it's God's plan, bro. I'm not even kidding, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I got bullied so much for this, bro. You have no idea. Like
With your
every
teeth?
single day, like my
middle school?
gums. Not by. I'm talking about kids in general. Kids in
Okay.
general, right? They would
Yeah.
bully me about my smile, my black gum. Like, oh, you have such a gummy smile. Like your teeth are messed up, whatever.
Is it,
Crooked. Yeah, like black gums. Like I have heard. Yeah, and what happened? Like I got braces and my
Yeah.
teeth got straightened out, but then I started wearing my retainer,
Okay.
and my retainer I think pushed up my enamel.
Oh.
It pushed up my gums where you can't see. All you see is a TT smile. That's it. You don't see any gums. Thankfully, God. So yeah, bro. Miraculously.
Did it hurt when you were putting your retainers on?
No.
Really?
No. And miraculously, I don't know how. Maybe we can put before and after pictures.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that actually.
Or
No.
whatever. An orthodontist can tell us
Yeah.
why that is.
Well, but yeah. We should have Dr. Cho on the podcast. He's such an interesting guy,
have him
bro.
on.
I went out to eat with him a couple of times.
Oh, did you? 'Cause
What-
you're thankful?
Thankful, and also he's one of those guys who's like he's a presence to him, bro. Like
Really?
he's very good at like giving advice. He told me like having like a life plan for 10 years in life. He talked to me about like his marriage, kids.
Interesting.
Yeah, we hung out
Your
like 3
dentist?
times. My orthodontist. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are tight like that, huh?
Yeah, Dr. Cho,
That's
bro.
the first time
I
I ever
gotta-
heard somebody being tight with an orthodontist.
Yeah. We text sometimes. Yeah. I
What
got
do you
to
text about?
like I sent him something I made and like
Okay.
we,
Oh,
a
exchanged.
couple
Yeah, gotcha.
Not every day, bro. I'm not
Oh,
texting him
I was
every
like,
day.
what the hell?
Hi, Dr. Cho. Thank
you.
you.
Call him Dr. Cho?
Dr. Cho, yeah.
Just
That's-
even on like a friendly basis, Dr.
Dr.
Cho?
Cho, yeah. I'm not gonna call him David. It feels weird, bro. Because in Pakistan, we always call people like uncle or auntie.
By the
We
respected
we
names,
never
yeah.
use names, even for teachers. You know what I used to
Yeah.
call my teacher? Sir, ma'am. All my life in Pakistan,
Yeah.
I called all my teachers sir, ma'am. Never did I address them by their first name or last name.
Did you do it here? Call him sir, ma'am?
Yeah,
and
when I came here, I was like, "What, Mrs. Gonzalez? Are you sure? Can I call you that?" I was like,
You
"Ma'am."
asked them?
Well, I don't remember if I asked them, but I figured
Yeah.
everybody was calling them by their
Same,
last
yeah.
name. It felt weird though. I was like,
Huh.
I almost like felt bad. I was like, damn, I'm disrespecting them in a way. That's what it felt like,
And
yeah.
to us, that's like American, that's like respectful.
Yeah. Saying the last name, yeah.
Saying the
Yeah.
last name instead.
So Thomas Matthew Crooks.
Yeah, so Thomas Matthew Cook. How's his smile? Have you seen it? I've seen pictures of him, and he's always with the closed mouth.
I know. I think I've seen it. Look, he looks like a cartoon.
A
Can I-
cartoon.
He looks like somebody out of a newspaper or a cartoon.
Oh my
He looks like an exaggerated version of a cartoon, bro. Why is it that all the presidential assassins always have like 3-letter names that go viral or popular? John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald, Thomas
interesting.
Matthew Crooks. These are all like very assassinish names that on paper look like, yeah, bro, you're probably a presidential assassin.
That's
Lee,
a trip,
yeah.
actually. Lee Harvey
Thomas
Oswald,
Wilkes Booth Lincoln, right? Lee
Uh-huh.
Harvey Oswald, John F. Kennedy, Thomas Matthew Crooks, Trump. These are all like very similar names. I don't know if it's just me,
Yeah.
but that's just my
That's
analysis.
That's interesting.
I
Well,
want to.
obviously, media has seen something with using their full name, right?
Yeah, why do we use their full names? Why is it not just
I'm
Lee
sure there's something
Oswald,
to it.
but Lee Harvey Oswald sound as a ring to
Yeah,
it?
it does.
Thomas Wilkes Booth,
Slightly more evil, right?
Thomas
Lee
Matthew
Harvey
Crooks.
Oswald. Dude, and if you think about it, I was thinking about it right now as you said that. In cowboy movies, in cowboys in general, when they're like saying there's a warrant out for his arrest, they say the whole name. If you look at go look at wanted pictures, it'll say the full name.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. And oftentimes with wanted pictures, it'll say first name, their the name that they go by, and then their last name.
Well,
So it'll be like their nickname.
Because it's their full name. They're looking for the full legal name.
Yeah.
Because there might be
But that's
people
that's not
named
legal, though.
Thomas Crooks, but their middle name is like
What do you mean?
Perry. You know, so it's for identification purposes too, I guess, in a way.
No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But it makes it sound like when you're looking at
sure.
a wanted picture and you're seeing the quotes as their middle name, it makes it seem a little more spooky, right?
Presidential assassins have like killer full names.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Lee Harvey Oswald. Thomas Matthew Crooks.
That kind of sounds silly
Thomas Matthew Crooks.
because Matthew's kind of great.
That's why he looks like a cartoon.
Matthew's a kind of great name.
Matthew?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, bro. How do you
Yeah.
feel? Whoa, hold on a second. Your name is the middle name of a presidential attempted assassin.
Bum, bum, bum. That guy is not God's gift. I can tell you that much.
That's what Matthew means, right?
That's what Matthew means. God's
It's a
gift.
beautiful name.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I think my biggest takeaways from what happened, I think we talked a lot
lot
of
about
tangents
this,
about
yeah.
smiles and teeth.
Yeah.
But I think we as a country should pray for wisdom in our leaders.
Yeah.
We should be kind to people around us.
Yeah.
Even in our workplaces, if we see somebody that we don't talk to, nobody talks to, just talk to them.
Yeah.
Because even if they don't commit any misery, what if they're committing miseries in their homes? What if they're like,
Right.
you know,
you don't know what
committing
happens
acts of
behind-
domestic terrorism in
Yeah.
their homes?
Behind closed doors, you don't know what happens. When the doors close and you're driving by the neighborhood, you don't know what's going on in any of those homes.
Mm-hmm. And let's not divide each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, this was not an inside job.
Yeah.
From the evidence we've seen, looks like a lone wolf attack. This was not a sketch.
Yeah.
Donald Trump wasn't trying to audition for SNL. His supporters
Yeah.
were not trying to pose or make this into like, I don't know, sympathy
Yeah.
points for the sake of what? For what?
When something bad happens, I was in middle school and I was talking to just friends at our table. Do you remember Miss Lima?
Yes.
So I was in Miss
history
Lima's
teacher.
class, okay?
Yeah.
In Miss Lima's class, and I had a group, and we were talking about 9/11, and we were looking up conspiracy theories and all this BS, right? And I asked, do you remember Mr. Garcia in high school, the history teacher? He was like this younger guy.
Sure.
Came in. So he was like a student teacher at the time, right? And I was like, Mr. Garcia, do you think it was a conspiracy theory? And he told me something that I remember. He said, even if it was, why do you want to believe that it's true? You shouldn't. You should stand with America. Like, this is America. You should want to believe that bad things wouldn't happen to us, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like,
but
you shouldn't want to believe that the government is out to get citizens.
isn't that brainwashing though? Technically, somebody could say, "Whoa, hold on a second.
Okay.
Let's take a step back."
Yeah.
You should always question the government. Always look at things objectively, and always question the
Yeah.
intent of your government. You know.
True.
I see what you're saying.
But should
though.
you jump to the conclusion that 9/11 was a domestic attack and they try to frame it?
Like an inside job?
Yeah. Should you believe that in the beginning, like
Should-
off the bat?
No, you should do your research. 9/11 was not an inside job.
Yeah. I mean,
From all the evidence
Yeah.
we've seen, it was not an inside job. Were there leaks and intelligences? Sure. Was there things we could have done to prevent it? Sure.
yeah.
But from all the evidence we have, 9/11 was not some attack that Bush ordered to destroy the Middle East. What happened was
My point
our
wasn't on the
response to
9/11.
it. Yeah.
My point wasn't 9/11. My whole point was my point was just relaying what he was saying, and his saying is you shouldn't jump to evil out there. You should be united with your country, basically, right? And if there is evil, somebody's going to find it, but don't jump to conclusions and think everyone's a bad person, because I think what he was trying to say is it can get your morale down, thinking that the place you live, that there could be that the people that are supposed to protect you cannot do that. You know what I'm saying? That bad things can seep through the holes, which they can, and they do all the time. But if you keep your morale up and you think that most people are trying to do the good thing, it'll just be better on your heart.
I think his point was to be optimistic.
Yeah.
Right? Don't look at things from a cynical point of view.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you do that constantly with everything,
It can mess with
everything
you,
is
dude.
bad, you're just going to lose all hope on humanity.
Yeah.
Once you lose all hope, it'll translate in your own life. You'll be like,
Yeah.
if everything is rigged, why even try?
100%, yeah.
So that is a very good point, actually, because to a lot of people out there who believe in conspiracy theories all the time, everything is a conspiracy,
Yeah.
any little thing, you think the whole world is against you, which makes you inhibit your own prowess as a person. That's a good point. But I think you should always question the intent of your government. Always have you should always question the intent of leaders because power corrupts.
I agree.
That's a different point.
That's true.
And going back to 9/11, let me just make something.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Good.
I said, the George Bush point was George Bush definitely destroyed the Middle East
Yeah.
because of his response to 9/11.
Yeah.
I don't think he set out destroying the Middle East because a lot of people say, oh, we're there for oil, which we were
Yeah.
to a larger degree, but I don't think he orchestrated the entire thing himself like George Bush did. There's no evidence to prove that. 9/11 was a terrorist attack that happened on our country, and was Osama bin Laden trained by the CIA? Yes, that's a fact.
Yeah,
He
it's a
was.
fact, yeah.
He was trained by the CIA. There's no conspiracy
Yeah.
about it. So there's a lot.
To
It's very
combat.
convoluted
Yeah.
things. Yeah, because
We trained
we trained the Mujahideen.
Yeah.
We trained the Mujahideen in Afghanistan to fight the Soviet Union.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, so 9/11. I don't believe in a lot of conspiracy theories, bro.
Behind every leader, there's a team. Okay, and the team feeds leaders information.
Sure.
And the team strategizes. So I know we put presidents on the pedestal, and then we put them on blast, right? But we don't know who's behind, like, right? I mean, I know we show quant, but we talk about quant, but if we didn't talk about quant, nobody would know.
But the thing is, Quant, referring to Russell Samana, who helps us with the podcast, who is our, I guess, semi-fact
back
checker.
Yeah.
He's the back end. He does a lot. But to your point, I think leaders, though, bro,
Yeah.
they sign up to be the front face of the policy.
100%, yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's
yeah.
their
they stick
fault.
to bear the burden. Yeah.
If they make a decision, if we go to war,
Yeah.
it'll be. If then the president is advocating for that war, the blame will go on the president because
Yeah.
he was the front
That's
face.
just how it
That's what they
goes.
sign up for.
Yeah.
They sign up to be the model for the
Yeah.
country. They are literally the model, like
Yeah.
a model, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But any reasonable person won't just blame the president. There's more people than
but
just
sometimes
the
it
president.
is just the president's fault, bro.
You think
sometimes
so?
it's just the
But we
president.
don't know. That my whole point is we don't know what happens, right?
Right.
Because the president's the one just speaking. But there's so many people, bro, in the Oval
But at the end of the
Office.
day, but that's what you sign up when you sign up to be the president. You
Yeah.
are saying, I will make the final decision.
Yeah, you take.
At the end of the day, I'm sure that he takes
sign
you.
up to take responsibility.
That's why
a
it's
different point.
that's why it's important to hire the right people around you.
Yeah.
That's why all these jobs and intelligence agencies are so important. Who you appoint, who you nominate to the Supreme Court.
Sometimes the appointees aren't, they aren't who you thought they were.
Yeah,
My whole
like
point,
any
dude,
other
is
job.
They
Yeah.
take responsibility, but it's just important to know that it's not always the figurehead. That there's stuff going on behind closed doors.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why a lot of conspiracies arrive.
That's
They're like
exactly
deep state.
Why. Yeah.
Deep state did it. What is deep state? Who is deep state?
We don't know.
Yeah.
You don't believe in a deep state?
The thing is, people waste so much time talking about
yeah,
conspiracies,
that I
bro.
agree.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we talking about
Yeah,
here? We'll never get to the bottom of this because
No.
we don't have the resources
Yeah.
to figure out exactly what is happening.
We don't have the resource. Only the deep state has it.
Only the deep state has it.
I do
Yeah.
believe in that, by the way.
What?
The deep state.
Okay, let's stop there. I'm not delving into this bullshit. Yeah, we could talk about this for hours.
Okay.
But then, yeah, what other takeaways do you have before we end? The assassination attempt.
I think what Trump's saying and what Biden's saying is just really important right now. It just stay united. I think this is a good wake up call that we are still a country and we should, regardless if we agree or disagree with each other, we should be in it for each other, right? You're supposed to protect your brother and your sister on the left. That's what the military teaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind. Don't make rash decisions. Just keep that in mind.
And I think Americans deserve an answer to why that rooftop building wasn't cleared.
I agree.
Because that makes no sense.
Yeah.
It was in the line of sight, only 150 yards away.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's downtown New York
Right.
where you have a bunch of skyscrapers and you possibly can't really clear out every single building. It was a small town, Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Why wasn't there somebody that cleared that facility? And why was this gunman not neutralized before? We deserve an answer to that.
Mm.
From what it seems, it was a security breakdown. The Secret Service is to blame. There are brave people who work there,
Yeah.
but at this time,
You make mistakes.
you make mistakes.
Yeah.
But dude, in the Secret Service, you cannot make a
You
mistake.
can't, yeah.
That's
But
the
we're
only job.
human, bro. We're human.
Right.
It's bound to happen.
Maybe we can say this for another day, but there's been
Yeah.
a series of things the Secret Service keeps messing up
Oh,
on.
correct.
Individual conduct
Yeah,
of
yeah.
a lot of these service agents.
Yeah.
It's not right.
No.
You should, that people need to talk about the conduct of certain law enforcement officials. If you're in the Secret Service,
Yeah.
you can't be out partying. You can't be out. You can't. I'm sorry. It's over. You can't be soliciting
Yeah.
prostitutes in foreign countries when your job is there to do security inspections before a president arrives. You can't do that. You
Yeah.
can't get fooled by people who pose as federal
Homeland Security,
agents, as Homeland Security. But these are all things that have happened in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Done by Secret Service
It's
agents.
impossible to stop that, though.
You think it's impossible?
It's impossible.
But this is the Secret Service. These are supposed to be the best of the best.
But again, the best of the best, just because they're the best of the best, they're still fighting human nature. That's what they're doing. They're fighting human nature, and nobody is perfect, bro.
I think Americans deserve accountability. Somebody needs, and a lot of these agents have been held
asking them-
accountable. They have been fired or put on leave, right? So
Yes,
they have been held
But you're
accountable.
asking them to be robots, and they're not robots. They're humans that have sexual needs, right? And
Prostitutes, bro?
that's just what some people do. It doesn't mean it's right, but some people just do that. And it's a mistake.
But
surely.
passing out in hallways when you're drunk
Bro,
as a Secret Service, not on.
respectfully, they have seen so much in their life in the line of duty, and with PTSD, a lot of people resort to alcohol. They are human. And it's not right, but they are human.
Okay, obviously the incident I described of a Secret Service passed out, I think
Yeah.
it happened in Colombia, and this was off duty. They
Yeah.
were not protecting somebody. But even then, I don't think they should be doing that. You're right, they're human, but I think our agents, I love what the Secret Service does for our country. It's a very
Yeah.
important job.
And they
It's
do
very
amazing.
hard.
Yeah.
A lot of them do an amazing job, but we can't be having agents like Kamala Harris's agent had like a breakdown, or she was displaying distressing behavior.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people in the Secret Service that are saying the agency needs to be run more efficiently, and that they're not performing to the level that the Secret Service demands of them. And so my point is,
Mhm.
both parties need to give Secret Service more resources to
Yeah.
do that, because a lot of times it's
Lack of
resources, lack
too,
of
yeah.
resources.
Fair.
I think that's one of the reasons why they're not giving RFK security. That might be
think so.
that might be one of the reasons why. Obviously, that's not the right thing.
Yeah.
Figure out a way to protect a Kennedy
Yeah.
who was running for president. That's
insane.
a basic thing. I
Yeah.
agree with you. But that
We're
might
spending
be.
trillions of dollars on overseas wars. We
You're
can't
right.
fucking protect a presidential
You're right.
candidate.
You're right.
It's crazy.
We should have more
Yeah.
resources, and the Secret Service should be held to a higher standard,
Yeah.
because what happened should not be happening. There's no
Absolutely.
excuse for it.
Yeah.
You have only one job. The Secret Service does a lot of other stuff as well, like looking at like fake money, currencies,
Counterfeit,
and doing a lot of other investigative work. But their primary objective is to protect the president of the
Yeah.
United States, and they failed to do that on Saturday, July
Yeah.
13th. I mean, did they
I didn't think they failed, but there was just a breach. You know what I'm saying?
huge breach?
It's a small breach.
That's a huge breach in security.
I almost died. Huh?
Got killed. Yeah.
On that note,
Stay
Anything else?
stay positive, I would say, and don't attack the other side, bro. Like, so many people were happy that Trump got
That-
shot.
insane, dude. You know, I read comments, bro. I wish he didn't miss. I was like, how can you prey on somebody's murder, dude? That is insane.
Yeah.
How
I'm-
can you
that's-
prey on somebody's murder?
Right. You should not do that, even for the worst of your enemies. Even if you hate somebody, even if somebody's a terrible person, right? You shouldn't wish for them to die.
That is some murder in itself.
That's, I think, that is like having I don't want to say God complex, but you should never pray for the death of someone.
No, that's
Oh,
insane.
God has that right.
Yeah.
You do not, as a human,
Yeah.
have the right to pray for somebody's death, even if you hate them, even if they're heinous. Leave it up to God. It's not for us to decide.
Yeah.
You can choose not to interact with that person or not that support that person. That's your prerogative. But don't wish for their literal assassination or killing.
Insane,
That's
dude.
not right. Regardless, Democrat, Republican,
Yeah.
you should not do that. Well,
Thank you,
at
guys.
least he survived, and hopefully Joe Biden survives too. You know,
Yeah.
like hopefully,
I think you will.
yeah, hopefully there's no assassination attempts on
Well,
him.
I don't know if you will, but I don't think it's gonna be an assassination attempt.
We'll pray. We'll play both of them.
Yeah.
Stay safe. All right,
All
good
right, thanks.
podcast.